A very good afternoon to all the participants. I, Ravi Gatti, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, Bangalore, Karnataka. We welcome you all for the second technical session for the third phase of the AICT sponsored short-term training program under AQIS program on data science for 5G cellular networks from 3rd to 8th August 2020. In the morning session, we had a resource person, Dr. L.M. Patnaik sir, on big data methodologies and technologies. On behalf of management, principal, and from the head of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, we would like to thank once again for accepting our invitation and gracing this event. For today's second session, we have Mr. Mahaveer Penna, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, Bangalore, for this session. First of all, on behalf of management, principal, and from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, we welcome you for this event, sir. Now, I would like to introduce the keynote speaker, Professor Mahaveer Penna, sir, to the participant. Professor Mahaveer Penna currently working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, Bangalore. He is pursuing his PhD in the stream millimeter wave communication under the guidance of Dr. Shivashankar sir at VTU, Belagavi. He got his master's degree from the University of Greenwich, Midway. Sir has published ample number of manuscripts in several Scopus Index journals and conferences. His assistantship to Dr. Shivashankar sir is captivating in gaining several funds from various prestigious organizations like AICTE, DST, VGST, and KSCST. He guided many students in product development and paper publication. He is a resource person for various workshops and faculty development programs organized in the country levels. His area of interest includes embedded system, machine learning, communication, and artificial intelligence. With this brief biodata, we would like to welcome Sir and request Professor Mahaveer Penna Sir to take over the session. Sir, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Ravi Gatti, sir.
Thanks.
First of all, I should thank to AICT for funding this prestigious program, and I have a special thanks to Principal Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, Dr. Suresh sir, for giving me this opportunity, and I have a special thanks to my guide, Dr. Shivashankar sir, head of the department DNCE, for giving me this opportunity, and also thankful for the organizers for the kind support and participants, my dear colleagues and students. So today we are going to discuss So today we are going to discuss data science influence on automation and business. First of all, so today, as the topic is like data science in 5G communication, we like to discuss about what is data science. In fact, what is data, and what is the role of data science in automation? What is the role of data science in a broad picture? And mainly focusing on one of the part of the data science using machine learning, and what are the different tools that we can use to implement the data science in a broader picture. And after that, we will end up with the conclusion. So first of all, let me define in a very business perspective what is data. So nowadays we have a data everywhere. We have like many types of data. We have web data, we have e-commerce data, maybe coming from Amazon, maybe from the Flipkart, from your mails, the financial transactions, the car transactions, the online trading that you are doing, the purchasings or social network, whatnot. We have a lot of data available here. And in fact, this data science or the data science engineering or data engineering was not predominant 10 years back. So these become very predominant within the span of the 10 years because of the huge amount of data available in the market. So many of the companies, many of the researchers, many of the institutions, they came to a conclusion that what we can do with this data. So in fact, this data is becoming like a gold mine. So these data they're using to get finances. These data they're using to get funding. So these from these data they're making the money. So as the data is very huge, so they are these companies or these institutions, they're using some scientific technologies, some strategical techniques to make the money from the data available. So this is what we need to understand in the data science. So how much data we hold actually? See, for example, first of all, let me give the clear picture how what is the flow of this presentation. The flow of the presentation is very simple, like what is the data and what type of data we have, uh, and after that we deal with the data science, what exactly the data science is, what is how this platform is linked to other known platforms like machine learning or big data or data mining. And also we are going to discuss exactly how these data influenced by the machine learning paradigms, and also we're going to discuss the tools exactly which are required. So in fact, in this presentation I'd like to give the complete details, what is the data science in a research perspective, as I feel. So if we take what data we hold, see we have a large huge data. See for example, if we take a Google process 20 PV of data a day. This figure is in 2008, and it will be very huge right now. If we take Facebook has 60 TB of daily logs. In fact, if we take eBay, we have a 6.5 PB of user data. And if we take the data, the cost of the data is around $35 for 1 TB of a test. And so this is what we need to understand. So there is a huge data which is available right now in the servers or in the communication links or whatever. So what type of data we have? So there are many types of data. We have relational data like tables, like a discrete data, like a continuous data, the data in the form of images, the data in the form of text, the data in the form of numbers, the data in the form of graphs, the social networking data, streaming data. Lot There are many types of data which is available here. So what we can do with these data? I just mentioned as the data is accumulating day by day, there are many companies, there are many organizations, they feel to make money from this data. So from that idea, so there are a lot of functions they are imposing on the data to come out with better solutions, which is useful for the humans. So in that, what we can do with this data? So we can perform the mathematical aggregations. We can perform the statistics. I'll tell you one simple thing. Recently, one of the university in US, the California State University, they made a survey on the data available based on the COVID cases. So they gave the clear picture of what is the projection of the cases in the future, what is the projection of cases in the month of November or in the month of December. So what is the analysis, what is the status of the COVID cases with the available data. So literally they use some, so these they use some, they made it technique. They're processing the data, they are getting some conclusions. So literally this is also one of the part of the data science. So with this data we can perform some mathematical aggregations. We can use some statistical tools to know the status of the data, or to define the data in the future. Say currently, what is the sales of a company after 3 months? What is the percentage of the COVID cases after 3 months? So this is what we can do, and this data will be useful for some other companies or some other government organizations, where they will use to tackle the situations or whatever. And by giving these type of aggregations, some companies will make money. Like for example, if we take California State University, upon developing these statistics on the available data, they make money. So literally the data science is part of making the money, because there are huge amount of data. They want to do something with the data. They want to analyze the data in a broader level. They want to define the data for the future purpose. They want to make money ultimately. See, for example, uh, even if we take Amazon and all, if you shop anything, so they having some data. Okay, if you take so they will sell the data to some other parties. Like it's not like it's an ethical way, in an ethical way. So they will sell the data to some other parties, and some other parties will use the data to understand the nature of the customers, to understand the nature of the business, ultimately to make better money. So this is what the importance of data science. This is what the importance of data available in the market right now. And also we can go for indexing, we can go for searching of the data. We can go for searching from the data. See, for example, if we take a Google is a search engine. So where the Google search engine, the fundamental requirement is the data. So if the data is not available, uh, even the Google search engine cannot do its functions, like what happening today. And also we have knowledge discovery, like data mining, statistical model, all these data. So we are doing some we are taking the data, we are doing some techniques, we are processing the data, we are understanding the data, we are analyzing the data in a very broader picture, by some companies, by some algorithms, or by some tools, so that we can understand the nature of the customers, or we can understand the nature of the source of the data, from where it is coming, and also we can boost our economy. So this is what boost the finances. So this is what every company does. So what exactly data science now? Data, we have a data, we have a huge amount of data. So what exactly the data science? So data science is an interdisciplinary field that uses, yeah, of course it is an interdisciplinary field. Why we are saying this as the interdisciplinary field is very simple. Like, okay, we have a so data science is not confined to one particular part. It can be like healthcare, it can be useful for automation, it can be useful for stockbroking, it can be useful, it can be used ultimately wherever the data. See, every sector we have a data. For example, if you take healthcare, we have a data. If you go for human resources, we have a data. If you go for automation, we have a data. So we have, if you go for websites, or if you go for any of the banks, we have a data. So wherever the data, see, data as data is irrelevant to the platform. Sorry, as the data is not confined to a single platform. In the similar way, wherever in the similar way, data science is not confined to the single platform. It is an interdisciplinary field. Literally, what is this data science? We're using scientific methods, process, algorithms to extract the knowledge from this data, and to use this knowledge for the future purpose. So this is what the data science is. For the clear picture, I will take some example, so that everyone will be having some clarity with respect to that data science. What exactly the data science, and what is the role of the data science in boosting the economy of the company or anything. For example, if we take a Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever, whoever, or Flipkart or Amazon, anything. If you take Flipkart for that matter, see, for example, if I go to the Flipkart, and I give some basic details of mine, and apart from that, I search some of the mobiles to purchase. So whenever this is all data, this is all the data what the customer is creating. So the Flipkart or the vendor, he is taking all the data. So he's analyzing the data. He's understanding the data. So every data is having some undercurrent. There is a knowledge. So he's extracting the knowledge from the data. See, for example, I searched for the mobiles. Like, for example, any mobile I searched. So even though even though I didn't shop also, even though I didn't purchase also, so this Flipkart is recommending me all the time if I open the Flipkart or from other means. Even if you go for, even the Flipkart is interlinked with the Google. Even if I open the Google also, all the time I'll get the notifications from the Google uh, uh, for the recommendations for the mobile. So this is what the data science. This is what the background. The background here is the data science. So what exactly the data science? They are taking the data from the customers, they are understanding the knowledge of they're extracting the knowledge of the data, and they are recommending, or they are using this data, and they're ascertaining me, they're understanding me based on the data I feed to their systems, and they're giving the recommendations so that I can purchase their product, so that the economy can be boosted or the finances can be boosted. So this is what the background agenda. So this is what the ultimate thing: extracting the data, understanding the knowledge of the data what we have, and analyzing the data, what I gave, like what the customers gave, and giving some predictions, or giving some recommendations, or giving some conclusions with the available data what we have. This entire process is to be the data science. So for that, what we required actually? So for that, we require some scientific methods. We require some processes. We require some algorithms. So engineers are meant to do this job, or data scientists. I'll discuss the role of the data scientist also. And data scientists are meant to do this. They are going to take the data. They're going to extract the knowledge. They're going to analyze the data. They're going to understand the behavior of the data, and they're going to give the data to some other parties or to some other vendors, where this data will be, or where this knowledge will be useful for them to satisfy the customers, or to improvise
Sorry for the interruption. Mahavir sir,
sir.
the slides, can you please put it in slideshow mode, sir?
Yeah, sure. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So this is what we need to understand. Apart from that, data science, yeah, this is very important thing. Data science is related to data mining, machine learning, and big data. So we are going to discuss everything. What is the role of data science with respect to the automation? What is the role of data science with respect to the big data, data mining? Everything we are going to discuss in this current presentation. So data science, I just try to explore the data science in different define the data science in different dimensions. See, for example, if you take a third point, if data science is a concept of unified statistics, data analysis, machine learning, domain knowledge, and the related methods in order to understand. Yeah, this is very important thing. We need to understand and analyze the actual knowledge belongs to the pertaining to the particular data. So this is what the complete theory, the complete engineering behind this is: extracting the knowledge from the data, understanding the data, analyzing the data, and using these data for the better predictions, ultimately to boost up the economy, or to use the data for the financial upgrowth. So this is what we need to understand with respect to the data science. So it uses the techniques and theories drawn from many fields within the context of mathematics, statistics. I told University of California, they're taking the data of the COVID cases in every country, in every region. So what exactly, they use some mathematical models, they use some mathematical statistics, or to predict what is the COVID state after 3 months, or after 1 year, or after 4 months. So this is what ultimately we require. This is what simply we are not meant to create the data. We are also using the data for the future purpose. So this is what the entire thing which is said to be the data science. So here we have we require a mathematics, we require statistics, we require a computer science where algorithms are required. We require a domain knowledge, we require the information science, everything, IT, where to understand the data. So that's the reason we said very clearly that data science is not confined to a single platform. It is it is an interdisciplinary field. So wherever the data is there, so whatever the platform it is, ultimately we are not only meant to create the data, we require to analyze the data for the future purpose. So this is what the complete journey of data science. And if you take the data science in different perspective, of course, an area that manipulates, yeah, it manages the data, it manipulates the data, it extracts the data, it interprets the knowledge from the data what we have. So this is what the data science in brief. Of course, we already mentioned like data science is a multidisciplinary field of study with goal to address the challenges in big data as well. So whatever the data, whether it is a big data, whether it is a small data, whether it is a automation, whether it is a healthcare, whether it is a home care, whether it is IoT, whether it is a bank, whether it is a finances, whatever. So wherever the data is there, uh, it is a requirement. It is the present requirement that we need to extract some knowledge from the data what we have, and also we require to manage the data. We require to manipulate the data literally for the future purpose, ultimately to make money. So this is what the thing is. Uh, and so in brief, actually, I told like that data science is a it's amalgamation. It's a mixture of computer science engineering. It is a mixture of mathematics. It's a mixture of statistics. It is a mixture of electronics or whatever, automation, robotics. So there, it's everything is involved, actually underlined. uh, so theories. So ultimately, what is the data science? Data science is the theories and techniques from many fields and disciplines to investigate the data and analyze the data, to manipulate the data, to manage the data. For what purpose? For the purpose of science, for the purpose of engineering, industry, economics, politics, finance, education. Even in 2019 elections also, they use they take the data from the voters, and they understand the mood of the data, especially in some states. Understand the mood of the data, and based on the mood, some political parties, they changed their manifesto, ultimately to grab the votes. So there is a lot of demand for the data. There is a lot of uses of the useful things if you have a data, and you can change the world. In fact, you can make money with the data what we have. So entire journey from the data what we have to understanding the data, analyzing the data, the complete thing, by using the mathematics, by using the computer science knowledge, or by using the statistics. uh, so this is what the complete journey is called, data science in brief. So this is what the thing. So I just mentioned before also, the data science is a multidisciplinary. Of course it is. See, for example, if you take a, so this is the circle. This is the middle circle. We have data science as a core. If you take, so data science is dealing with the statistics. Data science, if you take a, it is a union of many of the fields. If you take a, yes, data science is the it is dealing with the machine learning. Data science is dealing with the data mining. Data science is dealing with the databases. Data science is dealing with the visualizations, data visualizations, everything. Data science is dealing with the artificial intelligence, pattern recognition, banking, neurocomputing, uh, stockbroking, everything. So wherever it's very clear that uh, with the domain knowledge, with the brief domain knowledge, and with the uh, see why domain knowledge is required. For example, if you take a banking data, so banking data, banking itself is a domain. So we have a data, and we require a domain knowledge. So domain knowledge in the sense, what is the mood of the customers, whether the customers are loyal to the bank, or they're giving or they can pay the loan in a very proper time. Like for example, we have a CIBIL score and all, credit score, whatever. These are all somehow these are the outcomes of the data science. See, based on the civil score, the bank people will call you. They are offering you the loans. So before and all, such a facility was not there. Where 10 years back or 5 years back, literally. So nowadays, if your civil score is very good. So what the civil score literally is? Civil score is a part of the data science. So civil score, the whoever the company whoever the organization is generating the civil score of everybody individual. So they require a basic knowledge. They use some models. So literally they are involving the data science. They're involving in data engineering, where they're understanding the nature of the customer, and they're giving the data to the banks. They're extracting the data, they're extracting the knowledge from the customers, and they're giving that knowledge to the banks. So the banks will understand, okay, what is the nature of the customer. So if they feel, okay, the customer is loyal, they will keep on calling you. They'll be offering you the loans and all. So this is also one of the entity of the data science. So in fact, they'll use some techniques, they'll use some mathematics, they'll use some aggregations, they'll use some computations, machine learning. They use some algorithms, in fact. So uh, ultimately for what? Ultimately to make money. So this is what the thing is. So before and all, these concepts were not there. So that's the reason, as the data is keep on increasing, data science is also exploring in a different dimension. So this is what the interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary linkage with respect to the data science. And just the same thing. So data science is linked with maths, statistics, advanced computing, visualization, uh, hacker mindset, yeah, domain experts, data engineering, scientific methods. All these things are required. Domain knowledge, of course, domain knowledge is also required uh, to take the data, to explore the data, to analyze the data, to extract the knowledge of from the data, and to understand the customers, and to make money. So this is what in brief about the data science. So now we confined the data science concepts in a very different level. So I just explain, I just mentioned like data science, it is a part of everything, like domain knowledge thing. But we stick to the some specific level, like narrow level. So if we take data science, so this circle, the left side circle is to be data science. If you examine very carefully, and these data science is in relation with the automation, like artificial intelligence, and data science is also linked with the big data. So big data, data science, and artificial intelligence, there are three defined domains, but somehow, somewhere, they are interlinked. So these circles will show very clearly what is the relation between these three platforms, or these three technologies, to make money by any company, or by any vendor, or by any thing. So now, so uh, if you come to the business perspective, okay, we have a customers who are creating the data. We can say they are the source for the data, and we have a vendors. Like for example, if you take a bank, ICICI Bank or Axis Bank, they are the actual vendors. They are the ultimate vendors. And between the vendors and the clients or the customers, so we require the data science scientists, data science experts, or data scientists in a brief, we can say. So what is their role? They take the money from the sorry, they take the data from these customers. They're going to analyze the data, they're going to analyze the behavior, they're going to extract the knowledge from these data, and they're going to sell these data to the vendors, like banks or whatever example I'm telling. So from these data, from this knowledge, the vendors will get the money. The vendors will increase their advertisements. The vendors will can ascertain the loyal customers. The vendors can ascertain their faulty customers. So it is useful for the vendors as well, and also it will useful for the clients as well, because clients will get, before days and all, getting a loan from a bank is very difficult. Now the because of this data, because of the knowledge from the data, even the clients are getting benefit. Okay, the process becoming very easy to get the loans, or to get the offers or whatever. So it is useful for the clients as well, and also to the vendors. And simultaneously it is useful for a creation of the employment, because whoever the data scientist, they should be a company. For example, if you take some, there are some companies like who are NTT Data is one company, which I know. So they are into the data science field. What they are doing is they are taking the data, they're using some models, whether it can be mathematical models, or whether it can be computational models like machine learning, or whether if you go for robust Hadoop technologies. Ultimately what they are going to do is they are going to manage the data, because there is a huge amount of data. They're going to manage the data, they're going to extract the knowledge from these data, and they're going to understand the behavior of the customers, and they're going to sell this data to the vendors. So ultimately data scientists, these people are also getting benefit. The middle layer is also getting benefit with this data science. It is a beneficial for the country, for the vendors, for the clients, and also we can recruit many of the data scientists, engineers. The employment will also be is improved. That's the reason nowadays the employment is growing in a very high. The employment opportunities are growing in this field, uh, especially. So this is what we need to think. So what is the role of this data scientist or data science? Literally, I told very clearly, they are take the money. They will take the data from their customers. So they will manage the data. They'll store the data. in a very strategical way. They use some mathematics, some process, some algorithms to understand, to extract the knowledge from this data. So this is what the entire process is called data science. So technically, that's the reason data science is linked with the big data, linked with the machine learning, linked with the mathematics, linked with the statistics, linked with the domain knowledge. So that's what these circles made for. So let's examine. See, let's go narrow actually. So data science versus big data. What is the relation? So data science versus machine learning. What is the relation between the artificial intelligence and data science? Because there is a lot of research scope in this field. Even data science versus mathematics, data science versus statistics. But as far as the electronics or computer science engineers are concerned, mathematics, statistics, or of course we can deal with the visualizations, because data science is dealing with the visualizations, like like how we are presenting the data. So data science is related to the machine learning, data science is related to the big data. So that's why I took only this specific part of big data and artificial intelligence. In the similar way, data science is related to the mathematics also, statistics also, visualization also, which I am not presenting right now, but I'm confined to the data science related to the big data and data science related to the artificial intelligence. So here, if you see these circles, all are big data. If you take big data is interrelated to the data science as well as AI. If you take AI is related to the data science as well as big data. If you take data science is related to the AI and big data. So this is what the important thing. That's the reason this is the interdisciplinary. That is what we need to understand. So what is big data? So what is the relation between the big data and the thing? So I told very clearly, data science is nothing but managing the data, manipulating the data, extracting the knowledge from the data, and predicting what is required, predicting from the data, and ultimately giving the conclusion. So this entire thing is said to be the data science actually. To do all these things, we have a certain strategies, methods, and all that that also we discussed. What is big data? Actually, big data is like, in the name itself is very clear that the volume of the big data is very high, the velocity is very high, the complexity, there are different levels of data we have. So what is data science? What is the relation between the data science and big data? So whatever the data we have, whatever the volume we have, whatever the size, velocity, the data is coming to the servers. So data science engineers or science is also meant not only to take the data, to explore the data, to manage the data in a very systematic path. So this is what the data science and big data in relation. So if we take big data, so we just we take the big data in three different dimensions, which is said to be data velocity, data volume, data variety. So if we take data volume, if we take from the lower level to the bigger level, if we take this circle, this diagram, we have if we take the dimension of the big data, one of the dimensions data volume. So data volume, we have a kilobytes of data to the picobytes of data. So so that levels, that volume of the data we have. So and if we take data velocity, we have a batch data. We have a periodic data which is coming from different sources. We have a real-time data, we have near real-time data. See, for example, if you take aircraft and all, of course there are many sensors. Example I'm telling. Because aircraft is one of the sophisticated automation tool available in the world right now. For example, I mean, giving some example, like, so data, we are getting the data we are getting the real time data continuously. So this is what the velocity. So data variety, there are many types of data, like reports, like tables, databases, video, audio, SMS, mobile app, mails. So there are a lot of data which you are seeing, marketing data, banking data. So all these things are, so wherever there is a big data, of course we require, wherever there is a huge amount of data or less amount of data, whatever. So we require a phenomena to store this data in a particular place. to maintain this data in a particular location, to manage the data in a very strategical way, to understand the data in a very very uh, very useful way. So all these things, of course, we have a big data. To use the big data in an effective way, to store the big data, or to manage the big data in an effective way, we require data science. So this is what we need to understand, the relation between the data science and the big data. And see, I just uh, we just we just take only the relation between the big data and the data science. There are a lot of job opportunities. Anything, for example, if it anything you can choose, uh, uh, there are a lot of not only job opportunities, there are a lot of research opportunities available with respect to the big data and the relation between the big data and the data science. So I'll tell you very simple. Big data is the entity where we have a data, huge amount of data, huge volume of data, and these huge volume of data need to be processed, need to be stored, need to be managed in a very systematic way. For that, we require processes, we require strategies, we require algorithms, which can be the management can of the data, of the big data, is done a very strategical way by using the data science paradigms. So this is what we need to understand, the relation between the big data and the data science. Of course, there are many jobs. In fact, there are many companies. There are literally there are many jobs awaiting in this field in the coming future, because everywhere data we are making the data, we are throwing the data wherever you go. If you open your mobile, also if you open your apps also, there will be some data created under background, like cache data. So even the cache data, example, even there are some vendors who are analyzing the cache data. They are recommending that you are not aware. There are many vendors who are taking this cache data. They're understanding the nature of the person, the nature of the mobile user, and they're selling the data to the vendors, and these vendors are recommending you some products. They are using these data, this knowledge, uh, to for their economic growth. So this is what entire thing is said to be the data science, in fact. So if we take the US will need, we mentioned like this many number of predictive analysts, because data analysis is required, data managers are required, data engineers are required, data scientists are required. In fact, there are many jobs. This is 2011 statistics I'm giving, but in fact now there are huge requirement. So new data science institutes nowadays, if you open any of the YouTube, for example, YouTube video or something, I'm getting many of the advertisements like data science engineering course from Texas, like that. There are a lot of recommendations for me, because somehow somewhere I browsed these data, the interest. So I have interest. I browse somewhere in the Google, somewhere. So I created the data, and there are some vendors, there are some engineers, data science people. They took the data and they sold the data to these vendors, like data science from certification courses from Texas. So they took the data, they sold to these people, and these people are recommending me all the time when I use Google or Amazon or whatever. So this is what the role of the data science engineers, uh, data science people, the thing. So now, if you understand the big data versus data analysis, I told very clearly, okay, there is a relation between the data science and the big data. But if you take the big data, there is a minute level of difference between the big data and the data science. If we see this table, we can understand, okay, handling the large data is confined to the big data. And if you take a data science, we need to analyze the data. So big data is referring to the handling the data, and data science is referring to the analyzing the data. Excuse me. And big data, for example, take process huge volumes of data and generate insights. And if you take data science, understand the pattern within the data and make decisions. So this is what very important thing. So we have a data, we are processing the data, we are managing data, huge amount of data, whether it is a small amount or huge amount, whatever. We are under current. There is a knowledge, there is a gist, for every data that you are throwing every time when you open an application or when you open any console. So these data, we need to understand the pattern, and ultimately we are giving these patterns to the vendors, and vendors will take decision. So this is what decision means, what type of person you are. So for example, if I go for Amazon Prime or Netflix, yeah, I usually go for not only me, anybody they will go for thriller movies or mystery, scientific fictions. So all the time, if I open Netflix, the same type of movies will be recommended by the Netflix models, machine models, to me. So what literally, so they are understanding the nature of Mahaveer. Example I'm taking. So if you take the tools, okay, big data, there are many tools like Hadoop tools, Spark tools, Flink tools. There are many tools, in fact, to understand the big data, cloud computing. All these things will come into the picture there. But if you go for data science, Python, SAS, SAS, and there are many tools. In fact, if you go for machine learning tools, like we have a TensorFlow. If you go for data science uh, is like analyzing the data and predicting the data. So what is the nature, of the data. So we have I told the data science can be done in the machine learning point of view. Data science can be done in the mathematical point of view. Data science can be done in the visualization point of view. For example, if you take one of the tool for visualization purpose, even visualization is a part of the data science. You take MATLAB. So we have a MATLAB, and what MATLAB do? MATLAB is projecting the graphs and all. So it is a part of the visualization. So MATLAB is a tool for visualization. Visualization is one of the entity of the data science. So this is what we need to understand. For example, if we take a prediction, like uh, so we have a data of voters, for example. Some voters are for to the BJP. Some voters are inclined towards the Congress, for example. So we have a data. What is the data? Uh, Data is nothing but the number of voters. These are all data, and this is said to be the. So we are taking the data somewhere uh, from the surveys or whatever, and we are taking the data. We are managing the data. We are analyzing the data. So to analyze the data, so what is the data? We have voters. So what is analysis here? We need to classify among these voters who is BJP, who is Congress. So based on this, we sell these predictions to the literally to the parties, and the parties will take decision based on that. So this is what the thing. So literally what that data science here is, the data science here is, we are taking the data of the voters, and the models is classifying the data. So the classifier means who belongs to BJP, who belongs to the Congress. So for that, what tool we have? So that is classification is machine learning. So what that is what we need to understand. So machine learning, so data science with mathematics, data science with respect to the computing. So computing means machine learning. So what the machine learning will do? It takes the data, it will classify the data. So these classification they are selling to the political parties. So for that, what is the tool we require? We require a TensorFlow. So TensorFlow is one of the platform, one of the tool to classify the data. So this is what we need to understand. If you go for MATLAB, so MATLAB we take the data, we visualize the data. So for visualizing purpose, what is the tool we require? We require MATLAB. For prediction purpose, like for prediction or for decision making, what we require a computation tools like machine learning models. So for that, what we require TensorFlow. So all the things, everything is said to be the data science. Even machine learning is indirectly, it is that's the reason machine learning is half of the artificial intelligence, half of the data science. But if you take data science itself, it's not confined only to the machine learning. It confined to the MATLAB, like visualization. It confined to the mathematics. Like for example, COVID. I told the California State University, they took the data, they use some mathematical models to understand what is the COVID uh, uh, status after 3 months. So that is different. So they're using mathematical models to to understand, to predict, so to understand what is the status of the data. So that's what I told very clearly. Data science is a combined interdisciplinary platform to manage the data, to predict the data, to manipulate the data, to analyze the data, to extract the data, whatnot. So there are many things. So that's why we have many tools. Python, we have a TensorFlow, we have a MATLAB, we have statistical tools. SAS, yeah, SAS is one of the statistical tool which is required. So these are all cumulatively said to be the data science. We also discussed, like, okay, data science is related to the big data. Of course, data science is also related to the data mining. So what is the of course, data science is related to data mining. Data science is related to the big data. Data science is related to the artificial intelligence. Data science is related to the statistics, whatnot. So we are taking only some part, some pictures, or some modules. So in that thing, what is the relation between the data science and data mining? So just now we took the relation between the data science and big data, and in the similar way, relation between the data science and data mining. So if you take data science, okay, we already discussed, like, it is a multidisciplinary. It is a qualitative analysis and also quantitative analysis. Of course, data products, these are all we are analyzing by using the data science platforms. uh, what is data mining? So data mining is like we need to extract the data. We need to understand the patterns, understand the undercurrent knowledge of what data has. For example, if we take 1,000 people in a community, in a constitution, if we take so what is their mood? So we collected the different data, like what is their the example I'm telling, what is their caste, or what is their religion. So based on that data, we can understand what is the undercurrent knowledge, and to which political party they are favored. So uh, to which platform they belongs to. These are all undercurrently is there, in fact, for every data. So the data science models or data mining models or whatever, they are taking the data, they're extracting the knowledge from the data, and they're understanding, they're predicting uh, what type of data, what is undercurrent knowledge, and what is the decision they should take. So that's the reason data mining is a subset of the data sets, according to this picture. uh, now uh, Now this is very important thing, like data science and machine learning, because many of the engineers, or many of the electronics and communication, computer science, information science, they are mainly confined to the automation, robotics, machine learning, artificial intelligence. Of course, even the machine learning paradigms also, machine learning platforms, machine learning models also is related to the uses the data. And wherever the data is there, we need to manage the data, we need to analyze the data, we need to, based on the analysis, we need to take the decisions. uh, and So this is what the meant for. So of course, that's the reason even the data science and machine learning are interrelated to each other in a very broader picture. So that's the reason I can say data science is like it's like a center, is a center figure, where every, because data science is dealing with the data. Even if you go for robotics, even if you go for artificial intelligence, we are classifying. See, machine learning. Yeah, I'll tell the importance of the machine learning and the data science. So wherever there is a data is there, uh, we have automation. So wherever the data is there, we have visualization. So wherever there is a data, we have a prediction. So that's the reason, for all these things, for all the platforms, whether it is a big data, data mining, machine learning, statistics, SAS, for all this, data science is a key role for all these things, for all the platforms. Now, let me understand uh, the data science, or the complete model, the complete path of in a business perspective. Because every time I just mentioned, like, we have a client, we have a user, and we have a vendor, and we have a middle layer. So what the middle layer will do, literally the middle layer will take the data, the middle layer will analyze the data, the middle layer will manage the data, and the middle layer will sell this data, sell this knowledge to the vendors. and the vendors will take the action. The vendors will decide. The vendors will understand what is the status of the customers, what is the mood of the customers, what is the requirements of the customers. Based on that, they will take the necessary actions in their business, uh, room, so that they will. It's a boost of economy, boost of the finances pertaining to that model. Now, if we take a, so there is a vendor, so there is a user, there is a vendor. So what the business, data scientists people they do literally. So first of all, we have a business understanding. Okay, business to be understand. Okay, whether it is a banking or whatever, even even aircraft, even we can take the data from the passengers who are traveling through the aircrafts. So we can understand from which what is the from which location large density of the people are traveling. So this will be useful by the vendors. Like for example, Indigo is there. For example, if they opted for the flight between the from Cochin to the or from Bangalore to Hyderabad, for example. So they will take the data from these airports, from the customers. They'll understand, okay, there are many of the people that are traveling from they're traveling from the Bangalore to the Hyderabad. So they'll understand, okay, they'll understand the customers. Okay, it is very clear, okay, many people are traveling, many people, they want the data, number of flights frequency from Bangalore to Hyderabad. So Indigo people will take the data. Sorry, Indigo people will understand the knowledge behind the data. They will add more number of flights so that they can boost up their economy. They can boost up the finances. So this is what the role of data science in the current economy, current business things. So that's what we need to take, data collection. Of course, these middle layer, they'll collect the data, they'll understand the data. To collect the data, they have some separate strategies. To understand the data, they have some separate strategies. Like for example, uh, voters you take data. So here the business model is elections you take, and of course there are some people. Uh, there are some people, there are some middle layer entities who are taking the data uh, of the voters, and they will understand the data. So they will understand blind. They will not. They use some process. They use some algorithms. Like for example, they can use some machine learning models. I'm telling in this example. So what these machine learning models will do? The machine learning models, if you go for supervised learning machine learning models, I'll just discuss. They'll go for classification. I told before. So what they classify in the group of in a constitution, like 1 lakh voters are there, for example. How many people are for to the BJP? How many people are liking Congress? So this is what the classification. So they will understand. So sorry, they will understand the data. They'll prepare the data. So this is what the thaga. This is what the process is. Once the data is prepared, that means all the data is not required for us. So some data is required, some data is not required. There is some redundancy. We need to reduce the redundancy. Lot of process is involved in understanding the data, whether it is a whether it is a continuous data, whether it is a required data. There are a lot of things involved in the understanding the data, preparing the data. Once the data is prepared, okay, among 1 lakh people, if you take according to the survey, they took 1 lakh people. So 1 lakh includes all above 18, below 18, 18 of the age, for example, you take. So what is data preparation is? Data preparation is, like for example, we need to understand the data. So what type of data? So whether the data is coming from the valid voters or not. So we are preparing among 1 lakh, only 60,000 will be the voters. So we are preparing the data accordingly. After that, we are giving the data modeling. So data modeling is very important. Like for example, I just told. So we require machine learning models. Here we have a model evaluation. So data modeling, model evaluation. So there we are classifying the among 60,000 people. So initially we took 1 lakh data, 1 lakh voters. From 1 lakh, we require only 60,000, because 60,000 only the are eligible voters. Remaining for 40,000 are non-eligible, and we are preparing the data accordingly, and we are modeling this, and we are using some mathematical. Sorry, of course, we can go for mathematical models. we can go for statistic models, we can go for computational models, like for example machine learning models, to classify the data or to predict the data, whatever you can do with it. So the model, for example, I'm using the neural network, for example, I'm using the backpropping algorithm. So what the backpropping algorithm, I'm just giving examples. So it will take the data from all these 60,000 people, it will classify among 60,000 who belongs to BJP, who belongs to uh, the uh, whatever other party. So they will classify. So classification is one of the requirement on that, which we can execute, which we can impose on the data. So based on the classification, these data we can, this classification knowledge we can sell to the political parties, and the political parties, okay, among 60,000 people are there, for example 40,000 belongs to BJP, 20,000 belongs to Congress, you take, and I'm selling all this data to the Congress people. So Congress people will ascertain, okay, 40,000 are against to them. So what they will do, they will change the manifestation, their manifesto. They will allure, they will attract these 40,000 people to get the votes. So this is what the ultimate thing which we need to understand. So entire thing from the understanding the business and business, uh, uh, collecting the data, understanding the data, preparing the data, modeling, data modulation, data evaluation. See, outcome of the data evaluation can be anything. One of the outcome is classifying. Other outcome is prediction. Other outcome is prediction means, for example, we are using the statistical models. So same data we take other example like COVID. So there are some University of California, I told. So they took all the data from the COVID patients from all the countries. They collected all the data. Some data is useless. Some data will be very useful. Some data will be redundant. They throw all the they took only the required data. They will prepare the data according to the models, whether the models can be statistical models or mathematical models. And what is the outcome? They will predict. Uh, so what is the outcome here? What is the outcome of the model? So this model can be a mathematical model or a statistical model or a machine learning model, or can be anything. So these model we need to understand. So every model is having some outcome. For example, if you take a statistical model will predict. So what is the predict? We collected the data and we will predict what is the COVID cases after 4 months. That is called prediction. If you go for machine learning model, we can go for it will classify among the among the given COVID patients, COVID cases. What the machine learning will do, it will classify how many are elderly age, how many are younger age, how many are children. So this is what we, so based on the requirement you can use any of the machine learning, any of the model, ultimately for the future purpose. So this is what entire journey is said to be the data science, in fact. And of course we are iterating. This is what the ultimate thing after outcome of the model, I told, predicting the future or classifying the given number of patients, or this is what, whatever the requirement is, that model we need to choose. And based on that model you need to construct the model, you need to feed the data with these models, you need to train the models, you need to make the models to evaluate very correctly. We need to understand the performance aspects, ultimately for the better outcome. So that, what is the better outcome? See, if you take a model, if you take a statistical models like SAS, they will predict the future. If you go for machine learning models like ANN models, it will classify, or it will regression, it will perform the data regression, or it will do the data clustering, whatnot, everything. So this is what we need to understand. So that's the reason even the mathematics, even the statistics, even the machine learning, even the artificial intelligence, even the big data, even the cloud computing, all belongs to the machine, all belongs to the superset of the data science. Because wherever there is a data and we are expecting something from the data for the purpose of money, for making money, the entire process is said to be the data science. So that's what I cannot say, I'm not confining the data science is a single thing. It is a group of many. So this is what we need to understand. See, for example, if you go back to this thing, let's go deep into the subject, like data science, like it's a part of, okay, if you take this data science itself, it's a part of data visualization, data preparation, as well as supervised learning. So what is the example I'm telling? Because Data science is in relation with the statistics. Data science is in relation with the machine learning. Now I'm going to take the relation between the data science and the machine learning. What the machine learning models will do? Machine learning models literally classify the data. So before classification, we need to prepare the data. We need to explore the data. We need to manage the data. So here, in a brief language, I'm telling, data science is nothing but it's a managing plus analyzing the data. So combinedly is said to be the data science. To manage the data, what we require? We require data visualization, data preparation, and to analyze the data. What is the analysis means? Analysis means we have a 60,000 users. What is one of the analysis is among the 60,000 who belongs to BJP, who belongs to Congress. So this is what one of the requirement of analysis. For that we require models. For that we require supervised learning models or unsupervised learning models. What not? Anything. So we require machine learning models. Example. So models will analyze, and data science. So data science is part of, it's a combined like a managing and analyzing. So for analyzing we require models. Any model like machine learning models, computational models. Machine learning models are called as the computational models. Like the similar way we can use visualization models like MATLAB. In the similar way we can use statistical models in SAS. So all these models are used to analyze the data, and before analyzing the data we require to prepare the data. This is called data managing. So data managing and data analysis combinedly is called data science. So what is the outcome of the data science? Data science outcome is we can understand the data very properly. We can manage the data very properly for the purpose of both the parties, like for the benefit of the customers, for the benefit of economy, employment, whatnot. Everything is coming to the single room or single roof, whatnot. So this is what we don't understand. So this is what the basic idea. So if we take data visualization, so of course there are some tools. uh, Data visualization is one of the part of data science. Data preparation is one of the part of data science. Data analysis is one of the part of the data science. uh, Wherever, whichever is required for you, whichever is useful for you, up to that level you can stop. See, for example, if you take Arogya Setu, it is using only the data. It is taking the data from the people. It is visualizing the data. If possible, if you open the Arogya Setu, you can see the COVID status. So there you can see the visualizations like graphs and all. So that is also one of. It doesn't mean all the time the data need to be analyzed, the data need to be manipulated. Even the visualization of the data in a proper format is also the data science. There are many levels of data science. So even the visualization is one of the part of the data science in a proper way, in a very graphical way, in a very, there are many types. See, you can see this diagram. There are many ways of data visualization. uh, so there are some tools like R tool, like MATLAB. Even MATLAB also, I feel uh, it is one of the visualization tool. So data visualization is one of the thing. And so after visualization we need to manage the data, especially data management is related to the big data databases. For that we have some tools. Like for example, there are many tools. See, here we are visualizing, managing, and analyzing. So for analyzing, all the three. In fact, in the previous explanation, I merged the visualization and the managing. So managing the data, visualizing the data, and analyzing the data. All the three, all combinedly or separately, is said to be the data science. And to do all these three, we have separate tools, separate programming languages. For example, if you take MATLAB is of course it is a part of the data science. It is a visualization tool. So we are programming by using the MATLAB programming, and we are visualizing the data in a proper format. So this is what we need to understand in the data science. Of course, that's the reason I can see even the MATLAB is a part of the data science. That we are going to discuss what are the different tools available uh, in the data science in the later cases. Now after this we have so data preparation. This is very fundamental, very important stage. So I told like one is the data visualization is one of the part, is also part of the data science. Data management. So data management is also part of the data science. For that, to do that data management, we have some tools. Like for example, what exactly we are doing in the data management. So in that, one of the thing is data, we are preparing the data. So we have a raw data and we are structuring the data in a proper way, and we are pre-processing the data. We are going for exploration data analysis, uh, and reports, visual graphics. So that's the reason I told very clearly, visualization and management combinedly is said to be the data preparation or whatnot. So for that, we have some set of rules, sorry, some set of tools. I'm going to discuss all these tools in the at the end of this session. And data, see, now come to the data analysis. So what is the data science? Data science is a part of data management and data analysis. So data analysis is a very predominant thing, because there exactly in data analysis part, we can analyze the data, we can understand the data, we can understand the undercurrent knowledge of the data. So based on that, we can take the decisions, we can predict the data, we can do a lot of things. So this is what the thing. So this comes under data modeling. Okay, these kind of, so that's the reason. So data science is a combination of, or separately in fact, data science, data visualization, where MATLAB and all is required to just visualize the data what we have. For that, we require programs. Number two, data preparation, where you are managing the data. Big data algorithms, Hadoop and all will come under that sector. So we are taking the data, we are managing the data, we are structuring the data, databases, of course. We are modeling, sorry, we are structuring the data. That comes under data management. So for that, we have tools like Hadoop and all. So MATLAB is for data visualization, Hadoop is for data management, and we have data modeling. So what is data modeling here is, of course, we have a data, we need to analyze the data, we need to understand the knowledge underneath the data what we have. So here come classification of the data, prediction of the data, regression of the data, clustering of the data. So we require machine learning algorithms or machine learning models. Like for example, we can go for SVM, we can go for artificial neural networks, we can go for TensorFlow. TensorFlow is a tool especially for data modeling, where we can analyze the data in a very broader picture. So data visualization, MATLAB; data management, Hadoop, big data things, the thing and all. Data modeling, where analysis of the data, we require TensorFlow, machine learning models and all. Machine learning models and all will analyze the data. Here analysis in the form of classification or regression or whatnot, or we can go for clustering. Okay, so this is what we need to understand: data visualization, data management, and data modeling. All these three, or separately or combinedly, is a part of data science. And every part, every entity is having its own importance to make money, in fact. I just give a small example of the same water thing. uh, so I take the data from the waters. I want to project, I want to visualize the data. I can go for data visualization models like MATLAB. So MATLAB is confined only to that level. Example I'm telling, even by using the MATLAB also, we can go for prediction analysis modeling also. But usually, just one example I'm telling. So I have a data, I have a huge amount of data. For example, I want to visualize the same water data. I want to visualize. I can go for MATLAB. So that is called data visualization. So data visualization is also part of the data engineering, sorry, data science. Okay, I don't want to go for visualization. I want to take the data. I want to manage this data properly. I want to structure this data properly. I can go for data preparation models like Hadoop or big data models or whatever. So there we are managing the data, like storing the data, structuring the data, removing the redundancy, whatnot, everything. So this is, for that we require data managing models, Hadoop or whatever. So third, of course, we have a water data. I want to analyze the data. So for that, I require data modeling models. like machine learning algorithms, etc., or prediction algorithms like statistical models. So this is what data analysis or data modeling. All these three are separately combinedly we can say as the data science. So this is what we need to understand here. So real life examples we take, companies learn your secrets, shopping patterns, preferences, data science in elections. Of course, everywhere we require the we need either just to visualize the data or to manage the data in a very strategical way or in a very proper way. Or number three, to analyze the data for the purpose of classification, prediction, uh, clustering. If you want to cluster the data, all these three uh, comes under data analysis: clustering the data, classification data, data regression, predicting the data. For prediction we are going for statistical models. For classification we are going for supervised machine learning models. For clustering we are going for unsupervised machine learning models. So whatever the requirement is for data analysis, you can go for the particular model. That particular model will do the particular job ultimately for the benefit of the uh, for the benefit of the users, for the benefit of the companies. So this is what the ultimately for the making money. uh, so data scientist, so this is very important role in fact. uh, what is the job of the data scientist? Of course, I just mentioned before, they'll take the data, they'll extract the knowledge from it. They will extract the knowledge from the data by using the models, whether it can be a statistical models or machine learning models or mathematical models, whatnot, any model, or Hadoop models or MATLAB models or visualization models. They will process the data. They will not process the data. They will extract the knowledge from the data. They will manages the data. They will visualize the data, whatnot, everything except processing. Even they will do pre-processing also. Everything they will do with respect to the data. So that's the reason they are called data scientists. Data scientists are the key to realizing the opportunities presenting by big data. They bring structure to it. I told right. They make the very clumsy data to a proper way. They will take decisions. They will analyze the data. They will extract the knowledge. Whatnot, everything. Their job is enormous. So that's why those who are opting for the data science engineering, data scientist, they have a lot of opportunities because they have opportunities in healthcare, they have opportunities in military, there are opportunities in banking sector, there are opportunities in the stockbroking, there are opportunities in engineering, there are opportunities in artificial intelligence, because everywhere data we are throwing, we are uh, we are uh, we are making data, we are creating the data. So wherever the data is there, these data should be managed properly, should be visualized properly, should be analyzed properly for better business benefits, for making money. So that's what there is a lot of demand for data scientists, engineers, and data science. I told they are not confined to the single sector. They are confined to they are interdisciplinary. That's what we need to understand. So I just told they are related to the mathematics. Of course, data science is related to the mathematics for aggregations. Of course, one of the like prediction of the data, like classification of the data, like clustering of the data. Aggregation is one of the function that we need to impose on the data. So for aggregation and all, we require mathematical mean, medium, mode, and all. So we require mathematical models. We require statistical models to predict the data. Like for example, if we take COVID, so COVID cases are there. How many number of cases are there? These all comes under aggregation. So aggregation we require mathematics, mean, medium, mode. How many? What is the death rate of India right now? What is the death rate of India right now? So these are all comes under data aggregation. So for data aggregation is also part of the data science. They require mathematical models. Data prediction: after 4 months, we are taking the data. We need to predict after 4 months what is the status of the COVID, whether it can be the graph will be uptrending or downtrending. For that we require prediction. That is called prediction, data prediction. So for that we require, of course, we require statistical models, statistical models. And once we have a data, how many number of people are male, how many number of people are affected female. How many? This is called classification. So classification of the data is also part of the data science, where we require supervised machine learning models. In the coming thing, I'm going to discuss what is the supervised machine learning model, supervised and unsupervised and all. I want to cluster. I want to cluster the data. So I require unsupervised machine learning models. I want to store the data in a proper way. I require database. So what not? So we can store the data, we can manipulate the data, we can manage the data, we can visualize the data, we can analyze the data. All combined is the data science. And every part, every functionality I just mentioned, is having the equivalent significance for the current industry. For example, if we take data store. I told data store is a part of the data science. If you take database storage, database management, Oracle, there are many companies, Oracle, SQL, there are many companies, lot of opportunities they are creating. If you go for data prediction, there are many companies, they're using statistical model to understand to predict the data in the future. Lot of companies are surviving, lot of people are surviving, lot of economy is generating. If you go for I want to classify the data, we require machine learning models. In that, we have many companies who are surviving in this category. So data science as a huge, it is a very important concept, is a superset of all. It is a superset of artificial intelligence. It is a superset of data mining. It is a superset of database, data management, data visualization, what not everything. So MATLAB vendors will be there. They are getting benefit only by visualizing the data. Example I'm telling. Okay, so this is what the importance of the data in the money point of view, in the economy point of view. So this is what we need to understand very carefully. So I just mentioned like so machine learning. Yeah, machine learning. I told like if we take data science, there are many roles: data aggregation, data visualization, data management, database, data storage, data analysis. So data analysis, in the data analysis, we require to analyze the data. So where exactly we are extracting the knowledge from the data we have. So under the data analysis, we have classifying the data, we have predicting the data, we have clustering the data, we have data regression. So all this belongs to the data analysis. So from all these features, we can understand the knowledge, undercurrent knowledge of the data we have. So for that, we require models. So that particular platform is said to be the machine learning. So machine learning, in fact, it is one of the, like MATLAB. How MATLAB is a part of the data science, where it is useful for the visualization purpose. Hadoop is one of the part of the data science, where we are using for the data management purpose. In the similar way, machine learning, or the machine learning algorithms or machine learning models, is also part of these, also relative to the data science, especially to analyze the data. So this is what we need to understand. So under the data analysis, we comes the prediction. So prediction, we are not going for machine learning, we are going for data analysis. So machine learning, data analysis, only some part of the data analysis like classification, regression, and clustering. Because machine learning is a very important phenomena. It is a link between the artificial intelligence and the data science. So that's why I'm going to discuss even the machine learning concepts also right now, because machine learning not only deal with the raw data, machine learning deal with the artificial intelligence also. Okay, so based on the data what we have, machine learning will program the will manipulate the hardware. Example I'll tell you. See, in China especially, uh, because if you understand this case study, you will understand what is the relation between the machine learning. Sorry, what is the difference between the data science, machine learning, and the artificial intelligence. They designed the drones. Even I saw in the YouTube and all. So what the drone supposed to? So they're deployed in. I'm just giving one example so that you'll have a clarity. What is the relation between the data science, machine learning, and the artificial intelligence? So what is a drone? Drone is literally it is an electronic device. So it contains a processor. It is a it is a combination of processing as well as a control system. If you take a drone, because it will control the maneuver. It will control the flight maneuver. It will change the direction of the wings and all, whatever, the fans and all, the motor and all. So based on that, it will go there. It will capture the image. So here, they invented the drone. What the drone will do is they will capture the drone will capture the data. The drone will capture the videos, and the drone, wherever it will keep on going, it will keep on maneuvering. So it will take the data. So it will understand the people. It will capture the images of the people, and it will understand whether the people are wearing mask. It will not give any alert. If the people are not wearing the mask, it will give the alert, especially in the northern frontiers of China, where there is a cold climate and all, where the people are, where the government authorities can't go. They deploy drones to that places. So what this drone is, it's an amalgamation. I can say it's a combination of data science, machine learning, as well as artificial intelligence. If you go for artificial intelligence, like controlling based on the data, that is called artificial intelligence. So we have a control system, we have a machine learning, and also we have a data science. So how can I say this is the data science? I'll tell you. It will take the data, it will take the images of the people. So it will take the images. Okay. So it will manage the data. So there comes the machine learning, machine data management. So they are using the big data models to manage, because all the time the drone is going, every time it will take the images or the videos. It need to manage this huge amount of data, huge volume of data, huge velocity of data in a proper way, in a systematic way. There they're using the Hadoop things. So big data is linked. After that, so that comes under the data management. After that, once the data is structured properly, they're going to analyze the data. So what is the analysis here? I told one of the analysis is predicting, sorry, classifying. So from these images, they will classify who the people, whoever the people wearing the mask is one class, who is the people who is not wearing the mask is other class. So what the machine here, not big data, here we require the machine learning models. So what the machine learning models will do, the machine learning models, upon taking the videos, they will classify by using the supervised learning models, or they will cluster based on the unsupervised learning models. They will classify who is wearing mask and who is not wearing the mask. Who is not wearing the mask, so it will provoke, it will instigate the speaker, where embedded systems, and where the automation, where actually the electronics comes under the picture. So based on the classifying, okay, so wherever there is a community, the people who are not wearing the masks, it will classify that by using the machine learning models. The data we have, from the data, the machine learning models, supervised machine learning models, whether it can be neural networks, or it can be decision tree models, or whether it can be Bayesian models, whatnot. I'll discuss that concept also when the time permits, if the time permits. So that models will classify. Okay, what they classify from the images, from the videos, the people, they will take the people, whether the people are wearing the mask. Wearing the mask is one class, not wearing the mask is another class. So based on that, it will instigate the flight maneuver, the drone maneuver, and the speaker maneuver, speaking speaker, and it will trigger the intelligence. So there comes at the control systems, there comes the artificial intelligence, and here comes the machine learning to classify the data. And if you take our big data, there are huge number of images keep on taking. We need to structure it, we need to manage it, we need to store it. There comes the Hadoop models, big data models, literally that belongs to the data management. in this case, we are not going for data visualization, but some other person is there, some who is the controlling these drone in the remote place. So he want to know the data. He want to see the data. He want to visualize the data in a graphical representation or in the pie diagram or whatever. There also we can go for machine learning. Data visualization models like MATLAB or whatever, to visualize the data. Even the console also, that belongs to the data visualization also. So if you take a drone, so what exactly that is, that is one of the a combined feature of what, if you want to design a drone for that purpose, it is a combination of a data visualization where we're using the MATLAB, plus data management where we're using the big data or concepts and all, data mining concepts and all, plus machine learning to classify or to predict whatever. So where we are using the supervised learning machine learning models and all, plus artificial intelligence. So MATLAB, that is data visualization, plus big data, that is data management, plus machine learning, plus artificial intelligence like control systems to the flight maneuver and all. So these are all combinedly is said to be the data science. So data science is not, that's the reason data science is not confined to the single part. So data science is a whole, it's a big platform to understand all these things. So wherever, if you want to choose a career or if you want to do a research in data visualization especially, yes, you can go. If you want to go for data analysis, for that we have a machine learning things. If you want to go for artificial, like control systems, even the controlling also based on the data, even the controlling also based on the data. So they require artificial intelligence. So even that's the reason, wherever there is a data, there is a data science. So wherever there is a data science, there are a lot of job opportunities, there are a lot of money making policies. This is what we need to understand in the thing. So this is about the introduction. Machine learning. So machine learning, I told, machine learning is, I'll just come to the narrow. Okay, machine learning is one of the data analysis making platform. So machine learning, by using the machine learning, we can analyze the data. So this is one part of the machine learning. Other part of the machine learning is controlling, like artificial intelligence will come into the picture. So data, so one of the data science is data analysis. Data analysis is done by, so under the data analysis we have prediction of the data, classification of the data, clustering the data, regression of the data. So prediction, we are going for statistical models, but machine learning models we are going for, sorry, for classification, clustering, and regression we are going for machine learning models. So machine learning models literally performs data analysis. So data analysis is a part of the data science. So this is what we need to understand. So machine learning, of course, machine learning. So wherever there is a data, machine learning is also important to analyze the data. So I told, machine learning data is there in everywhere: healthcare, biology, statistics, visualization, everywhere. Data science is there. Of course, to analyze all these data, we require machine learning. So okay, we require models. So need for machine learning, that's what we told. Increasing demand of the data, and we need to analyze the data. We need to take the decisions from the given data. Of course, in some point of time, we need to solve some complex problems also. So we require machine learning models. So examples: Netflix recommendation, Facebook, Amazon Alexa, Google spam filter. All these belongs to the all these things are the part of the data. What is the data analysis? Which is a sub part of the data science. So data analysis precisely is done by the machine learning models. Some of the models are some of the uh, functions of the data analysis: classification, regression, and clustering, which is done by these engines. These engines are real-time engines. Okay, so we need to understand machine learning actually. So machine learning is a platform you take. So these machine learning will perform the data analysis. In the data analysis also, they will perform the clustering, classification, and regression. Okay, so machine learning, if you take a there are some terms which we need to understand, which we need to take care in the machine learning, like algorithm, what is a model, what is a variable, training data, testing data. I'm not going to discuss much elaborately here in this particular session, if possible. So, of course, now you come data analysis. Data analysis is a part of the data science. Data analysis that can be done by the models, whether it can be statistical models or the machine learning models. So, whatever the models we need a data, and we need to train the data. We need to train the machine. So here comes the machine learning. So training and building the model comes under the machine learning, and after that prediction, all this is the machine learning process. I'm not going to discuss elaborately about the machine learning process right now. uh, when time comes, I will we will discuss elaborately about the machine learning. So machine learning process and all. Yeah, one second. So told very clearly, one of the part of the data analysis is we can classify the data, we can perform the regression of the data, we can go for clustering of the data. So to do this data analysis, I told very clearly, like, data analysis is a subset of data science. So data analysis, there are many functions: classification, prediction, regression, clustering. Prediction done by the statistical models, but classification, regression, and clustering can be done by the machine learning models. So if you take a machine learning, so there are three types, in fact: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. So supervised learning, by using the supervised learning models or supervised learning algorithms, we can classify the data, or we can perform the regression of the data. I'll tell what is regression and classification very clearly. And if you want to cluster the data, we can go for unsupervised learning models. So, and these three, classification, regression, belongs to the data analysis, which is the part of the data science, which can be performed by the machine learning models. And that models also we will discuss right now. In fact, in the coming PPT, just we need to understand. So I'll just take a glance of what is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning for a better clarity. See, for example, if we take a supervised learning, if data, so we have a data. If the data is labeled, that means if the data is very clear, if the data is very certain, in fact, if the data is known, uh, if there is a known data. See, for example, uh, if the voters, we know the voters in a community, for example. So we know the voters, like the community. Uh, we are aware. We are, if the data is labeled, so there we can perform only data analysis. If you want to analyze the data, I'll repeat once again. Uh, we have a data, and the data is very certain, very clear, very known, very labeled. So, what is the function that you can perform on this data is nothing but classification. That means one of the data analysis function is classification. If the data is known, we can do only the classification job. So whatever the data which is known, and that known data we can classify, only we can classify. Okay, so that type of learning, that to classify the data, we require the algorithms, we require a model. So such type of models where the data is known, and where we can do only the classification. So here the input is known, the output also known, that means we can classify. So if the data is known, we can classify the data. So for that, we require a model as a part of data analysis. So such models are called as a supervised learning models, or in fact, that type of models are called as a supervised learning. So I'll come in the reverse way. Supervised learning is nothing but, or supervised learning models is nothing but, it can classify, or it can perform the regression of the data which is known or which is labeled. Example of the supervised learning model, I tell you. Decision tree is one of the supervised learning model. So decision tree is one of the supervised learning model, where the data is known, where the data is labeled. We can classify only that type of data, or we can go for regression. I'll tell what is regression and classification. So very simple. If you go for decision tree algorithm, if the data is known, we can take the data, we can give to the decision tree model. And what the decision tree model will do, the decision tree model will analyze in the form of, in the dimension of data classification or data regression. So it is one of the part of the data science. For example, if you go for unsupervised learning, unsupervised learning is mainly useful for the data which is not known, not labeled. See, for example, if you take a, here, if you go for supervised learning, labeled data, so we have a black ones and we have a brown ones. Black ones are said to be the Tom and the brown ones are said to be the Jerry, or different images or different positions. Because here we know the black ones is said to be Tom and the brown ones is said to be the Jerry. When you feed this to a model for the purpose of analysis, this is the data. I want to analyze the data. One of the data analysis is data classification or data regression. For that, I can use the machine learning models. So sorry. I can go for machine learning models like supervised learning models. Supervised learning models, decision tree algorithm. What the decision tree algorithm? It will classify. Okay, whoever brain data comes, it is said to be the Jerry. Whoever black image comes, it is said to be the Tom. It is called a classification. Now we go for unsupervised. Here the black ones are there and brown ones are there, and the data is not known. In the previous case, we named as Jerry the brown ones, and the black ones we named as a Tom. So there, here, this also data. I want to analyze this data. I'm feeding this data to a model. What the model again? What the model will do here? The model will analyze the data. The data analysis is a part of the data science. So what this model will do? This model is dealing with the unlabeled data, unknown data. So whichever model is dealing with the unknown data is performing the job of clustering. That's all. It will not classify. There is a difference between clustering and classification. It will, whoever the brown is there, it will cluster. For example, there is a brown cat and brown dog. So it will not do anything. It will not classify as cat and dog, but it will cluster as a brown color and a black color. So there is a lot of difference between the clustering and classification if you come to the real time. So if I want to perform the data analysis on this unknown data, I can do only the clustering job by using the model called machine learning model called unsupervised learning models. Example, growing neural gas is one of the unsupervised learning models where we can tackle the unlabeled data by clustering them. So this is what we need to understand literally. So data analysis is done by the machine learning models. In that machine learning models, if you go for supervised learning, we can go for clustering or regression. If you go for unsupervised learning models deal with the unknown data. If there is unknown data and there is unsupervised learning models, what is the data analysis outcome? The data analysis outcome is clustering. So this is what we need to understand. So every even clustering is having its own importance. Regression is having its own importance in the commercial point of view. Even the classification is also its own importance in the commercial point of view. Reinforcement learning I'm not going to discuss, but reinforcement learning is the we are constructing the models or we are making the machine to learn based on the rewards. I'm not going deep into this concept. So this is how we already discussed actually. Now data classification regression, I'll just take a very nominal time to make you to understand data analysis. Data analysis is a part of the data science. To perform the data analysis, we require the models. Prediction is one of the data analysis. Regression is one of the data analysis. Classification is one of the data analysis. Clustering is also one of the data analysis. In the precise, regression, classification, and clustering can be dealt by the machine learning models, whereas prediction is done by the statistical models. Uh, this is the part of the data science. This is what we need to understand. So what is a regression? So regression is nothing but, see, for example, if you take you can see here the blue dots. So blue dots we have, and also we have a red line. So red line is the output of the model. Red line is the orange line, sorry. Orange line is the output of the model, and the blue dots is the data. And what this orange line is doing, the orange line is literally defining the data. It is telling the trend. So this is called regression. So especially banking data, stock data, I want to define the data. Defining the data is also part of the data analysis. I want to extract the knowledge. So here we have a data. What is the extraction of knowledge? The knowledge is undercurrent. The nature of the data is uptrending or downtrending. So this is also one of the data analysis job. So that can be done by the regression. So to perform the regression, we require the models, machine learning models, linear regression algorithm, LMS algorithm. These are all the regression models, or see, algorithm and models that that we'll discuss in the when the time gives understand. Okay, so model, machine learning model, one of the machine learning model is done is by the linear LMS algorithm. So LMS algorithm is a model. For example, if we take uh, so it will perform the linear regression. So what is a linear regression? It will extract the knowledge of the data, whether it is the data is uptrending or downtrending. So this is part of the data science. Okay, for example, if you go for classification, so based on the classification, whether the people are wearing masks or not wearing the mask, based on that only the don't maneuver will be defined. For example, so data analysis is a part of the data science. So one of the data analysis feature is classification. The classification can be done by the machine learning models. So what is the classification? This is the line you can see. This is the output of the outcome of the machine learning models to classify the data. So based on this classification, some actions can be taken. So this is what. So some of the models here is support vector machines, Naive Bayesian models, KNN models, decision tree models, and their corresponding algorithms. So this is what we need to understand. Artificial neural network models. Artificial neural network model is a machine learning model. Feedback sequential. Sorry, feed forward. There are many types of models. Okay, sequential model if we take basic model, artificial neural network model. What is the job of that artificial neural network model? It will go for feed forward neural network. It will do the job of data analysis. One of the job is called classification of the data. So it will classify the data. So the outcome of the model is this line. This line will classify the data. So based on the classification, it will tell what type of the people are, what type of customers are. So for that we require the model, we require algorithm. Algorithm is again the set of rules. So learning, machine learning, when time permits, we'll discuss later very deeply about the machine learning. So model, machine learning models, one of the model is artificial neural network, performs the data analysis classification. Examples: super vector machines, Naive Bayes models, logical regression, KNN models. These are all the different models which can perform the classification, which is a part of the data analysis, which is the subset of the data science engineering, is data science. So this is what we need to understand very clearly. Now, if you go for unsupervised, where the data is clumsy, where the data is not aware, we can go for clustering. This is the clustering of the data. So here we can see the data can be formed in different clusters if the data is not known. Based on that, also some actions will be taken by some vendors to improvise their finances. This is what we need to understand. And for that, we have a model. See, for example, if we take the supervised classification, all these three: classification, regression, clustering, are the part of the data analysis. So we discussed like data visualization, data management, data analysis. So data analysis, classification is one feature, regression is one feature, clustering is one feature. One more feature is a prediction. Of course, there are many. Prediction is done by the statistical models that we are not going to discuss now. But classification, regression, and clustering can be done by the machine learning models. Some of the examples are classification. If you want to perform the classification, we require SVM, Naive Bayes models, near neural networks. So neural networks, by using the neural networks, we can do classification. By using the neural networks, example I'm telling, regression. We can go for linear regression models, decision tree models, neural network models to perform the regression of the data. Clustering, neural network models also we can use, hierarchical models, KNN models. Also we can perform the clustering. That's why neural network, different types of the neural networks are there, different dimensions of the neural networks are there. Ultimately, neural networks can perform data analysis, classification, regression, clustering very effectively. So that's the reason there is a lot of demand for machine learning. In fact, more specifically, there is a lot of demand for neural networks, model designers, uh, to analyze the data, which is a part of the data science. This is what we need to understand here. These are all, decision tree. This is how the models looks. I'm not going to deep actually. Decision tree, by using the decision tree models, we can perform the one of the data analysis function, which is called regression. If you go for neural networks, of course, neural networks, we can go for classification, regression, as well as clustering. That I'm not going to discuss much elaborately. So here, apart from neural network, there are some other models like Bayesian models, decision tree models, neural network models. Every model either can, if you go for Bayesian, it can go for clustering. Sorry, it can go for classification. If you go for decision tree, it can go for regression. If you go for convolution neural network, it can go for what is that? Uh, uh, you can go for clustering. So what not everything, any model, any machine learning model can perform the data analysis, which is the part of the data science, clustering, classification, and regression. So this is how the neural network. I'm not going deep into the neural network right now, but I'm going to discuss about different tools at every stage. So I told very clearly, I mentioned very clearly, like if you take a data science, there are various things like data visualization, data management, data analysis, everything. For example, if you do data in the data analysis, also data classification, data prediction. For example, if you take SAS, there are some SAS tools which are designed, which are the models which can do data prediction. If you go for MATLAB is a tool which can go for data visualization. Even Excel also, it is one of the data science. It is a data science tool, because by using the Excel, we can manage the data, we can store the data, we can visualize the data in a different perspective. And if you go for TensorFlow, see, machine learning and all, machine learning, whether it is supervised learning or unsupervised learning, machine learning models will perform data analysis. Specifically, they will perform classification, regression, and uh, uh, and clustering. For that, what is the tool required is a TensorFlow. So what about the tool we have? TensorFlow, data classification; SAS, data prediction; MATLAB, data visualization; Excel, data management; Jupyter, Apache Spark, data storing, a lot. So all the combined, everywhere there are different levels of data managing, data visualization, data storing, data exploring, data prediction, data classification, data regression, data clustering. For every function, we have different tools like this. All you can see here. And every tool requires some programming language. So a lot of jobs are there. For example, if you take MATLAB, so MATLAB is for data visualization purpose. This is also one of the data science platform. For that, we require a MATLAB programming. For example, if you take a SAS we require a separate program. If you go for TensorFlow, we require a Python. So all this, whoever, see, for example, Python is very adaptable. By using the Python, we can do data prediction also. We can do data classification. We can do data whatnot by using a specific tool, whatever. So that's why. So here, what all the requirements actually for the engineers or for the researchers, or the jobs are required. For example, if you take a Python is a very predominant here for data classification, by using the machine learning models. We can go for TensorFlow tool, where we are using the Python language for data classification or data prediction. For not data prediction, for data clustering or for data regression. If you go for a SQL, data managing database, DBMS, we can go for a SQL. And big data, Hadoop, and all. Of course, we are structuring the data, etc. If you go for Java and all, there are we are using that for data managing, data visualization and all, etc. Computer vision. These are all different things. But Python, if you take Python, uh, or if you go for Python is majorly useful for data clustering, data classification, and data regression, which plays a major role in both the data science as well as artificial intelligence. So that's why Python is in high demand right now. Many of the control systems, control processors also, they're using Python as adaptable language between the machine learning models, between the hardware, and also between the data science platforms. So that's why Python is a high demand right now. It's a medium. It's a medium of language for all. Like how the medium of English is for all, for every country. The similar way Python is for medium of all, for all the different artificial intelligence platforms or machine learning models, or for data science, big data models also. Okay, so this is what in brief. So conclusion, I'm going to conclude with all your blessings. So data science as a whole, with this thing, we understood like data science is a wonderful knowledge where we'll understand how to manage the data, how to manipulate the data, how to extract the knowledge from the data, how to analyze the data, how to present the data in a very effective way by using the different models, uh, by using the different programming languages, by doing to increase the fundamental finance of the companies, or uh, or to give comfort for the users as well. So this is what the conclusion is. Fundamentally, data science uh, can boost up the economy, can bring the jobs, can integrate with many of the sectors, even for the agriculture, healthcare, whatnot, everything. Artificial intelligence, manipulating the data, everything. So this is what my conclusion with respect to the data science. So those who are interested in the data science research, there is a lot of scope. Whatever the scope, whatever the, whether you can do the research in data visualization, whether you can do the data research in data prediction by using the statistical models. So majority of the mathematicians, they're using the data science, sorry, statistical models uh, for the data prediction. And for the electronic engineers and all, we can go for machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotics. With there also we are dealing with the data clustering, data classification. Based on that, we are going to control some systems. If you go for computer science, we can go for data management, like from big data storage, or data prediction or classification, whatnot, everything, machine learning or whatnot, we can choose. This is what's an option. And these are the references which we took, and we use the Harvard referencing for this thing. And acknowledging, yes, I am sincerely thankful to AICT and Principal Dr. Suresh sir, my head, my guru Dr. Shivashankar sir, all the department colleagues, all the organizers, all my friends, all my colleagues, my students, all the participants for giving me this opportunity. Once again, I'm so thankful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mahavir sir.
Yes, sir.
We would like to thank Professor Mahavir Penna sir from the organizing committee for the informative session on data science for the 5G networks. We got a very good feedback, sir, like a good presentation, informative presentation, good information, very informative for data science and machine learning, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you once again, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you once again for the coordinators and all. Thank you.
We would like to thank all the participants for your active response and support for this event. We kindly request your presence throughout this STTP. For the tomorrow session, we have Dr. G. Varaprasad, Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering from BMSC College of Bangalore. We request all the participants to join for the session. We would like to conclude the day one of the AICT sponsored short-term training program on data science for 5G cellular networks. Thanks everyone. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.